It's not just about what you sell, it's about what you don't sell. Is your cash trapped in your storeroom? We call it weeks on hand. One of our clients was holding 11 weeks of inventory, tying up over $16,000 in working capital.
Here in the fourth video of our Fabulous 4-bar series, we're looking at an unusual metric which we calculate called weeks on hand. It measures the amount of standing inventory you have compared to what you use each week. So generally speaking, we want to have a more modest inventory, so lower is better. In general, we like to see bars keeping 4 weeks or less on hand, so they're not unnecessarily tying up their working capital. What we see here is when you've got very high sales of over $110,000 in a week, you can have an inventory of well over $100,000 and still not be too far off in this metric. This bar has a total of 260 products. We move on to the Midwest bowling alley with more modest sales of $10,000 a week. Their particular challenge is they've got a big product selection given their sales. They have 265 different products. And that naturally means you just have to hold a backup of more products, and the end result in this case is they're carrying 11 times as much inventory in a week. If they got this down to even 5.5, they could free up over $16,000 of working capital in the business. Here is a sports bar in Denver with sales just over $60,000 a month in beverage sales. They've got $13,000 on hand, and they're almost hitting our ideal metric of 4 times the inventory on hand. And they're doing a better job, honestly, in managing their inventory. They only have 168 products we're tracking at this bar. And then showing the limits of this, a bar that's doing just a little less sales than that. This is a chain pizza restaurant in the southeast of the country. They've only got 2.2 times as much inventory in hand as what they sold last week. So they're only tying up $8,000 of capital, and that's largely a product of the fact they only have 126 different products. One of the ways that they still provide an interesting product selection is that they have 10 beers on tap, and they are rotating those beers very rapidly. Despite that fact, they're still ringing up 97% of all the beer that they pour during the week, missing just 6%, and really nailing on this weeks on hand metric, meaning that again, they're not tying up working capital that could be spent on something that would actually generate more business. Thanks for watching.